We talked about gar setups in the last video and went over the flies and stuff like that, so I figured we'd go over one of my go-to flies and then maybe you can tie one or whatever. But basically something like you throw it like even a GT or a jack or something like that, or even a bass even. But you know, 6 inches to 10-inch flies. Basically I'm going to do basically a version of this. That's the last fly I caught alligator gar on. Just a bunny tail bait fish thing. I don't know. They don't all need names, do they? Yeah, so just take and do a thread base like you do everything. And cover that whole shank. These fish are really, really strong, got a lot of teeth, they're going to tear stuff up. So, you know, don't skimp on durability. Just get this thread base in here, and then I'm going to add these eyes. And the eye part, you definitely want to have a few different variations depending on where you are, how deep you're throwing at these fish, flows, things like that. You can do large or medium bead chain eyes, or you can do up to extra large or whatever you want to throw. Medium really is like the biggest I'll throw, like extra heavy medium. But got these guys, I think they're, I forget the exact size, I have it somewhere right here. Some dirty water. Yeah, it's all in reverse, of course. 3/16. I don't know what that actually weighs in extra small or small, but yeah, you just lock these guys in. A couple little V-wraps. V-wrap. And I kind of do a couple around it. You know, everyone has their own way. Do it about 3 times though, and kind of lock them in. And then you always come in with some glue or some resin or whatever. But again, these guys are strong. They're going to tear up flies. You're going to throw one fly out, the fly's destroyed on the first fish. Sometimes it's a thing. So if you can make one that'll last, you know, a couple fish, that's awesome. It does happen. This is just my general throw out, steady retrieve it back in. Not seeing the fish, just seeing air gulpers work in the river. And it works. Just got to get lucky and cross their face. Yeah, I like to do this little, you can do 2 ways. You can just harden the whole tail, or you can do this, I'm going to do this mono thing like the tarpon guys and stuff do. Just a way to kind of keep that bunny tail from fouling. Honestly though, maybe I should just do the hardening it with like the UV resin. Because every now and again a guard tooth gets stuck in this loop and pulls the loop out, which I guess also is my fault. But yeah, lock that guy in there. And I'm going to do a double bunny on this one. I'm going to do chartreuse and white. Kind of change it up a little bit. You know, you can kind of 4-inch tail, roughly 5-inch tail. About 4 inches probably. So I should have cut these already. And the bottom piece could even be shorter or longer if you wanted. If you're going for a mullet look or whatever. Up to you and what you're going for. You definitely want to have a couple different variations. You know, I always start with white, but white, gray, shaddy type stuff, because they're eating a lot of shad and mullet and things like that. But then from there, you know, there's some obnoxious stuff, or black and purple. Come in here, lock this guy in on top of it, and lots of thread wrapping. Get that good and locked in. Then we're going to take and kind of, you definitely want to make sure you have this mono or yeah, basically hard mono long enough, 40 pounds what I have right here. And you want to put it far enough out where it'll keep the tail from fouling while you're casting and fishing it and stuff like that. And then from there, poke a hole in this rabbit with the sharp point of my scissors, which, you know, it's good to go bad on video. Let's see what happens. Pretty easy to mess this up with these scissors. And sometimes you'll get it and you can't find the daggum hole for it. Poke this guy through there. Boom, we got one in. Same thing here, and you want this to match up, so should match it up pretty well. This is how you mess up. Probably just use a needle and not film this part. It's really hard to get the tension this way to do it right, and then when you do get it, you like cut through the whole thing. So, you know, poke a needle here, don't do this. I don't know if I got it or not. Hold on a second. A little more difficult than it should have been, but I got it. I had to pause the daggum camera and just do it right. And yeah, you want to get that in there. Maybe you can see, but basically where the loop doesn't make the tails do anything too weird. It keeps them from fouling. We're going to come in there and lock those tails in afterwards. And then yeah, lock this sucker in. You can see it's kind of hidden in the leather in there. Hidden in the leather in there. And that's something you can do for tarpon, bass, anything, but it'll kind of keep you from having fouled bunnies on your cast and stuff. Every now and again, tarpon fishing or whatever you're doing, those tails will cost you a fish. Let's not have any of that. Let's just catch the fish. I'm gonna lock these guys in with some glue. And paused it and locked it in with some UV resin. Kind of cap it. There's just so much going on, and then, like, again, strong, sharp teeth. So I'll tear that stuff up. So I'm just being thorough. You could also do super glue, or do what I'm doing, and it'll work. But yeah, we got that guy right there, all in there now. Got the tail going. And then you could do some strands of flash. You could do feathers if you want. It's up to you. I got this stuff right here. This will be my flash. You got this also at Dirty Water. I don't even remember the name of it, but I'm sure he has it. Just this sparkly wrap stuff. It's like an inch and a half roughly long. Longer is okay, shorter is meh. Just depends how you want that body to look though. We're going to use that to kind of cover all that ugliness on the shank too. And just wrap it and tease it. And this stuff kind of, as you use it, gets all twisty, and you can just kind of unwrap it as you go. And that'll help keep it straight on your hook at least. So what if it becomes a little messy? So you can just keep teasing it. Wrapping it forward. too tight with it, but you don't want to go too loose either. The gar probably don't care either way. And yeah, we'll just take that. It's kind of getting messy. Oh yeah, it's locking on my thread. But we got around it. Lock that in. At least 3 good tight wraps. Could do more, could do less. But yeah, you can see it kind of gets all twisty and weird, and just kind of keep teasing it back and keep using it. Just thoroughly lock all that stuff in, because we're going to come in with this brush and finish the head with a brush. You could make legs, you could do whatever you want. I'm just kind of, again, going off something I tied last time, that the gar gobbled up pretty fast. Saw them rolling, pretty much knew they were about to eat the fly. It took a second, but not too long. When they're fired up, you can see them moving and rolling and gulping air. I don't know if you can tell, but we have a pretty dense population. You know where to look. Wrap this brush in there. Even if that went a little bulky with that chenille type stuff, it'll just help build the body, and the gar don't care. They're eating, again, like 6-inch shad, 2-inch shad, up to 12-inch mullet, you know. They'll gobble up a baby carp, no problem. Probably not eating 20-pound carp. That's a pretty big mouthful, you know, but they really do seem to key in on bait fish just like everything else. And, you know, just don't slip up and cross their face, because they seem to eat stuff if it lands in the wheelhouse and is a layup for them. If they're rejecting flies, it's actually kind of strange. Could be you scaring them before they know you're there, or they're spawning. They can get a little funky during certain stages of the spawn, but for the most part, they eat a fly, sight fishing or not. A lot of people wouldn't think you can blind cast for these fish, but we're catching a lot of them blind casting. And, you know, every night we can pick to go sight fishing, but every now and again while we're out sight blind casting the area that has a really dense population, we get a sight fishing shot, and that's, you know, awesome when it happens. One of the biggest ones I've caught there just floated up next to the boat and ate the fly after a long, slow day. We're still learning. That's pretty much it. Just put that head like that. This brush is called the Z brush from EP, but you know, you could use a minnow head brush. You could use any of the other brands that have a brush. You could build it with a laser dub if you wanted. It's up to you. It's all up to you. Yeah, just a nice, almost too thick, but that weight in there, you know, that's all right. Nothing that's going to really hold water in it anyway, so it's going to fish. And I'm not trying to make it sink to the bottom. I'm trying to make it kind of hover anyways. You don't want it erratically dropping up and down most of the time. It's more like just level, steady pace. Don't make them work too hard and get in the wheelhouse if you're blind casting. And yeah, it won't be done by the end of this video, but I'll take and liquid fusion these rabbit strips together, and you see on this one it blends together pretty nice. It locks it all in, and you just have one big double bunny tail. Pretty cool. Liquid fusion. It's something you want to have, especially for gluing leather, rabbit stuff together. Yeah, I mean, that kind of covers, you know, one of my go-to. This could be chicken feathers, it could be whatever you want, craft fur. But, you know, I'm trying to go for that roughly 5 to 10-inch fly. We throw stuff, you know, as big and crazy as this, which is, you know, pretty big fly. One of our hotter flies last year was this kind of stuff with these peccaccini, I'm sorry, dude, don't know how to say it, tails on them and stuff like that. We just call them birds. But we had a lot of fish eating these guys, especially slower days. Going big seemed to work, but it's really fun if you can get them to eat this big musky stuff. And this has caught a fish. And we've lost these big flies on big fish too, which sucks. But yeah, hopefully that'll help you out. And not very many people are tying gar fly, so again, it can be anything but gar fly. That's what we're gonna throw anyways. Good luck out there. If y'all have any questions or anything y'all want me to do, I don't know, some other kind of gar how-to video or bass or white bass or whatever, Texas stuff, bowfin maybe, holler at me. Do carp and all that stuff too. Pretty much anything in freshwater I chase it. Everything in saltwater I chase too, but I don't guide for it. So, you know, but yeah, catch them.